Hi, Chris.
Hi, how are you? You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. What's it like being up at the big desk?
It's interesting. It's a bit different to where I'm normally used to work. But yeah, it's a new little challenge that I've got to obviously face you guys today.
Yeah. So team news. Start with that. What's the squad look like for this weekend?
At the moment, we've got the full squad available. We've just got the 3 long-term injuries in Ella Morris and Luana, who are obviously out at this moment in time, but everybody else is fit and available to be selected.
And how's training been today, but also this week leading up to it, especially after 2 successive wins now?
Yeah, there's a lot of life in the squad. There's a lot of energy within the squad as well, and obviously we're just building that rhythm and that momentum within the squad as well. So yeah, it's in a good place.
In London City, they were sort of seen as the team that's going to be like best of the rest, or that was what they were trying to do. But at the moment, that's what sort of Spurs are doing. Y'all are the best of the rest. How do you see this weekend's match kind of lining up? Feels like 2 teams that are really trying to break into the top 4, top 5.
Yeah, I mean, from our own point of view, obviously we can only speak about ourselves, but it's the old cliche of we're just looking at the next game ahead and sort of taking things from there. We've set ourselves sort of short, medium and long-term goals across the season to sort of go for, which we're sort of running into nicely at this moment in time. But obviously London City are a good team as well. They've recruited well over the summer and started the season well.
And just a word on Bethany England and Katika Tamberg. The 2 of them seem to be competing quite nicely for the number 9 role. Beth obviously didn't start, and then she started this past weekend, scored in the first half. So have you seen the 2 of them helping each other kind of become better versions of themselves?
Yeah, I think ultimately what we want within the squad is competition. So obviously from that point of view, they're both putting pressure on each other and challenging each other and pushing each other to new levels to help the team, help each other, and obviously help themselves as well. So it's a healthy competition between the 2 of them, and they're working well together to progress.
And I guess you won't tell us who's going to start this weekend, right?
We can't say that at the moment.
Okay, we'll go to George.
Hi Chris, good to see you. How has it been this week? Has it been kind of quite disrupted or not too much, obviously with Martin away today especially?
No, there's been no disruption at all. I think collaboration between us as staff, so we've got 4 technical staff in the group, so we all speak on a daily basis multiple times, so we're aware of what we want to work on, what we want to achieve, how we want to achieve it, and obviously put plans together on training plans ready for what we're going to sort of confront London City with at the weekend. So it's no different really with Martin away to Martin being here. Obviously his presence is felt when it's not here, but we take the reins and sort of put in place what he wants really.
And from your own point of view, you was obviously at Man City for a long time and joined the club last year. How much have you sort of enjoyed the experience and I guess the challenges of the last sort of 12 to 16 months at Tottenham?
Yeah, do you know what? Last year obviously was last year. It was a disappointing season for us, there's no doubt in that. But this season we've made significant changes within the coaching staff, and obviously we've progressed the way we have, and the results are starting to show for us, which is pleasing for us to see. But what we're not doing is getting carried away with that and allowing ourselves to get sort of settled behind that. We want to keep pushing. We want to keep pushing ourselves as staff. We want to push the players as well, and obviously make sure as the sort of momentum continues.
And I believe that part of your role is also set pieces. So how much would you enjoyed that goal then against Liverpool, the equalising goal? Was a great corner routine. Yeah,
it was nice. It was something as we'd sort of highlighted throughout the week. It's a routine that we'd spoken about, and we'd done some individual, collective, and obviously full squad work on that. And to get the goal off the back of it was nice.
As someone that's obviously been in the women's game a long time, how sort of good is it for the game and I guess for the WSL to see a team like London City kind of come through and not just kind of there to make up the numbers as we've sometimes seen with teams coming up and they've really taken to the league by storm this year?
I think it's only healthy. Obviously next season the league's going to grow in number. London City coming up this year and making a real challenge, a real force, clearly investing in the squad, in the facilities that they've just released now. I think it's only healthy for the league and to make it more competitive across the amount of teams that are in the league at this moment in time and going to be increased upon next season.
Cool. And Alia?
Hey Chris, how are you?
Hi, are you okay?
Yeah. London City so far have scored in every game except against Chelsea. How are you preparing the likes of Lisa and your defence to keep a clean sheet against a new team who are well known for scoring?
I think ultimately what we have to do is look at what the opposition's strengths are, which obviously clearly they do score goals. So in preparation with the goalkeepers, we prepare them for what potential threats they're going to face, and then link that in with the back four, midfield units as well, to make sure as they're aware of what threats they're going to do and how we then work on the training pitch on how we're going to nullify that.
Yeah, and then thinking more into the goalkeepers, this international break, Lisa played the full 90 minutes for both of Netherlands matches, earning clean sheets for both of them. Do you think she's able to compete for their number one spot? Do you feel that the opportunities she's been given are because of her strong performances for Spurs? And do you think there'll be an important confidence booster for her, especially with a big match like the North London Derby coming up very soon?
Yeah, I think ultimately international setup is down to the international managers to select, but I'm not going to say she's not put herself in a strong position. She's performing well for us. She performed well in the 2 games. Obviously, Daphne wasn't available for those 2 games. She was recalled through injury. But I think Lisa's put herself in a good space in terms of her performances for us and for the national team on that international break.
Yeah, as a whole, all 3 of the first team goalkeepers are taking huge steps internationally. Most notably, Sophie Jackson received her first England call-up for the under-19s, earning a clean sheet on her debut. How does this international representation affect them in training and playing for Spurs?
I think ultimately what we want as well is healthy competition within the goalkeeping group, which first and foremost, the 3 good people that work together really well. Sophie's obviously gone away with the international setup for the first time. She's managed to earn her way. I spoke to the goalkeeping coach out there. He's told me that she's earned the shirt. It wasn't given. So she's actually performed well within the training environment to give herself the best opportunity to go and play. And then obviously she's gone in the games and she's done well within the games. It's all a learning curve for Sophie. It's early days for her, but things are moving in the right direction for her.
Yeah, and lastly for me, fellow Academy graduate Eleanor Heaps made her senior debut for the team last year against the Sevilla in the League Cup, a clean sheet and the 1-0 home win. With her strong performances for England and the Spurs Academy, how far away would you say Sophie is from making her own senior debut for the team?
I think the difference with Sophie at the moment is she's very young as a goalkeeper. She's very young in an academy system, and obviously it's her first season training up with us as well. So there's a lot of things that she has to work on, to develop on, which we're doing on a daily basis. But obviously from that point of view, she's in the right place, training as a 17-year-old or only just turned 17-year-old goalkeeper, working with a first team, senior international players that have been there, done that. You know, there's players that have won the Euros, there's players that are currently representing their international teams that she's training with on a daily basis. So it's only going to help her development.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to take some questions from the online feed. We'll start with Chris Cowlin.
Hello, Chris. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Yeah, very well. Just wanted to talk a little bit about Martin himself. What the main changes that he has made since Robert left the football club, because it has been a fantastic start to the WSL. So, of course, you were here at the football club last year. What main changes have you actually seen?
I think it's a different personality that's come into the group. He's brought with him his expectations, his methods, his ways, and obviously his playing style that sort of matches in with the playing philosophy of the football club. So, you know, last season, as I've said before, was disappointing. There's no doubt about that. But he's brought in fresh ideas. He's brought in fresh staff, which have also got their ideas. And as a collaborative staff between the 4 of us, I think we're trying to strive to, you know, get better each week as things go on with our performances on the pitch, but ultimately being demanding of ourselves as well to make sure as we are pushing the players in the right direction. So, you know, we're picking up those points that are really important to us.
There's often the conversation about the gap between the top sides and the likes of Tottenham women. Now, of course, you've worked at Manchester City. How far do you think Spurs are away from being one of those top sides in the WSL?
I think the direction that the club want to go in is ultimately to go and challenge those teams. We have things that we need to do. We have areas that we need to improve on. There's no doubt about that, and we have the full backing of the football club to say that we want to head in that direction. So, you know, our expectations as staff are sort of driving towards that to ensure that we're we're working towards that as a successful team and as a successful club.
Best of luck. Nice talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
As Chris, Charlotte.
Pleasure to get to speak to you, Chris. Just while we've got you as the goalkeeping coach, what do you think Lisa's contribution has been to the positive start to the season, and what was she like to work with on a day-to-day basis?
Lisa's your typical goalkeeper, really. She's a real good character, both on and off the pitch. She's certainly ambitious, which is something that we saw within her when we went through the recruitment process. And she's delivering on that. Yes, there's things that we highlighted when she first came in that me and Lisa both spoke about. But we're working towards those areas, and she's making good strides on that. I think she's really important part of us as a goalkeeper is within the football team. And her performances on the pitch so far this season have been very good, both in possession and out of possession. And the results off the back of that, linked with the back four and the rest of the team, are that we are keeping more clean sheets this season, and it's a priority for us to do that. That it gives us a platform to be able to push on and win games, really.
And goalkeepers have obviously been, women's goalkeepers have been in the news recently, particularly within the world of women's football. What's been your take on sort of Mary Earps, her comments, her sort of battle, if you like, with Hannah Hampton, as someone that works with women goalkeepers? What's been your take on all of that? Well,
I think ultimately both of them are top international goalkeepers. They've both proven themselves. But what's going on between those two is between those two. It's not for me to comment on. My job is to focus on us moving forward, Tottenham Hotspur, and the goalkeepers as I have within the football club.
Cheers. Thank you, Chris. Good to speak to you.
Thank you. Dan Pentland.
Hey Chris, hope you're well.
Hi Dan.
I just wonder, obviously you've got three goalkeepers, all at different stages. Obviously you've got a first choice, a second choice, a young goalkeeper as well. At the start of the season, when you come back in pre-season to work with these keepers, how does the messages change, or the targets per goalkeeper, or is it kind of a case that you're all kind of trying to achieve the same goal?
I think ultimately what we do is we put the shirt out there for them to go and grab, and once they're in the shirt, it's their responsibility, if you like, to themselves, to the team, to make sure as they hold on to that. I wouldn't say as we sort of name the number 1, 2 and 3. We don't particularly do that, but with performances both in training, within games, obviously we've had the pre-season friendlies that we've gone through. It allows the individuals to put a performance in, to put themselves in front of the spotlight of the manager, really.
And obviously you've kind of set the standard with those, I think 5 wins out of 7 early on. You're obviously a third of the way through the season. In terms of the feeling around the club, on the training ground, does the players kind of believe that they can kind of keep that up for the full season? Because we know how hard a task it is, but obviously it's all the right noises, I suppose, in the opening weeks of the season. Yeah,
again, I think we don't want to get carried away with where the end goal is at the end of the season. Yes, it's important for us to set goals sort of short, medium and long term, but we only focus on the game that's in front of us at this moment in time, because ultimately there's 3 points on the table for us this weekend that we can potentially pick up. We have to. It's not as easy as just going and picking them up. We have to be in the right mindset. We have to have the right mentality and approach to the game. But the feel within the group's really good. The building over there is bouncing. Obviously, we're picking up points along the way, which is good for us. But I think that 1 week at a time approach is the important way of doing it, really. So we're not taking our eye off the ball. It's right in front of us and looking too far ahead. Thank you.
Cheers, Dan. Dakota.
Hi, sorry. Obviously London City have signed really well this season. They clearly mean business. From the outside looking in, it feels as if this is Tottenham Spurs proper test for someone on our level. I'm saying short-term goals. Is there the same feeling within the camp this week in training that this is the first time we're really competition with someone similar?
No, I think, as we said before, I think the league is that competitive now, and you look at the results, there's not really many results, if any, that do get carried